Hey everybody, what is going on? Serial Overdrive here, and today I'm playing Entropia Universe. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing a little bit of hunting and mining, just mixing things up, going out, seeing what there is to, well, find out there as far as mining and hunting goes. I'm going to be showing you sort of my new, not favorite location, but a location that I tend to frequent a lot nowadays. So the reason behind this is basically there's a few mobs here that I really do need to get on as far as quests and everything like that goes. So first things first, let's go ahead and pin those quests. This is a 50 PD hunting / mining run, but I'm not 100% sure how long this is going to last. It might be 50 PDs, it might be more, it might be less. We'll just see how it goes. So you've got these Bersicle out here, and you can see I've got 878 kill points out of 1,200 that I need. In addition to that, I believe this place should have some Argonauts, or here we go, Ripper Snappers, that's another one that it has. I need a few of those kills still. And then it should have Argos as well. So this is a good, nice little combination of places here. So you can see all three of these mobs I can come out here and hunt and get my kill points for. For those of you guys wondering, this is the location. It's Nymph Town. If you go over here, there's a cool little castle you can explore. I'm not quite sure who owns it, but it is pretty legitly done. There's going to be a little bit of lag when you go in, but that's a pretty cool place to check out. I might even do a little bit of tour, give a video tour of that someday, but we'll see. So yeah, it's just over here on this sort of east side of the map. Alright, so let's just go ahead and get started, right? First off, none of these mobs that I'm fighting are going to be too hard to take on, so instead of wearing some crazy mayhem ghost or whatever armor, I'm just going to be throwing on the classic pixie armor. So for those of you guys who are a little bit newer to the game, this is actually going to be a really good location for you, because you can come out here with pixie armor and sort of a lower level gun and do just fine. So let's see, do I have, there we go, got our foot guards, and we've got our gloves. So now we're all set, we're ready to go, we're geared up, looking nice and fly in our armor there. And what should we be doing? We're going to be doing some mining, because that's what you do. Once you get all your armor set up, you go ahead and you mine. Why am I not able to do this? I think I need to redo my hotkeys, maybe. Let's check this out here. So this is my F1, F2, yeah. So, I can't really tell you guys why, but for some reason, I emptied my inventory, and it looks like I did not bring back the finder I wanted to use. But I'm not gonna waste your time here. We're just gonna go ahead and do it this way. I'm gonna use an F105 instead of my normal limited finder. That's just gonna make it easier for us. In addition, that does remind me I should probably hotkey all this stuff here as far as guns go. So yeah, I've got my classic. I'm not going to use an LR30. That would be a bit of an overkill. Or is that might... Ooh, I did not bring back the right guns, did I now? Looks like I didn't quite bring back everything I was expecting to bring back. But we can probably go out here and do it with some different armor, or some different gear. So let's check out this gun. This is a little bit too less of a short blade, but I think... Here we go. We've got this. This is a Riker. So this is an old school gun. You can see here it's not doing a ton of damage, only 11.5 to 23 damage, but it'll still get the job done as far as the mobs that we're hunting goes. We also have a Breer that's going to do a little bit less, and then a Breer M1A and M2A, and the Riker UL3. The reason I'm out here with these guns is because it turns out that Mindark has actually gone ahead and given us a little bit more, not wiggle room, but giving us a little bit more slack as far as burning through the guns. So now instead of getting these guns all down to 3%, you can just run out the TT value of the gun, which means a lot of these guns that I was sitting on just waiting for this to happen ended up becoming useful. So let me just make sure real quick that I'm not doing something stupid here. The amplifier, how much damage does it give us? It gives us 7 extra damage, and if we unequip this, yeah, so we should be good to go there. Alright, so there we go. So let's go ahead and just use that gun, and we should be set up. Sorry about that, folks. You guys usually don't get to see the setup, so maybe it's helpful for some of you guys just to see how I do everything. But yeah, here we go. We got a Riker UL, and let's try and take this Berry Dominance. So you're going to see it's going to be a little bit harder for me to do than if I went out here with a better gun. But again, this is a good location if you've got some armor and you've got a somewhat decent gun. Again, you can see just as far as damage goes, really what matters is damage per second. So if you've got gear that's doing, what are we doing here? About 13.2 damage per second, you should be good to go. I think, I'm not sure if that 13.2 is actually including the amplifier or not. I believe it's not, so you might want to add in a nice little amplifier onto your gun for that. But yeah, that's really all you need. So it's not too tough of an area. And I think a lot of you guys who are newer players who are constantly telling me I don't show you guys any locations, this might be one for you. Also, as far as the mining goes out here, I've noticed that the mining claims are pretty decent. So this is overall, whether you're a miner, hunter, well, maybe not a crafter, but whether you're a miner or a hunter, this is going to be a good location for you. The only problem is you do have to come out here prepared to take on some mobs. And while we're at it, I just realized I did not hotkey a healing device, so I'm going to need to go ahead and do that before these things kill me. We've got our S10 here. So let's hotkey that to 2, I guess. Alright, so now let's pull out that healing device and heal up before this little guy kills me here. And you can see, not too bad at all, right? We just get that those heals going, and now we start shooting. So yeah, this is actually like a really good location. It's pretty close to a teleporter. It's got some decent lower level mobs. It's not quite Camp Icarus, but it's not hunting Aatrox or Atrax or anything like that. It's gonna get you guys some of your quests, and you're gonna be able to take on some bigger Bursicles. So you're gonna sort of get that. You're gonna be able to feel the difference between taking on a level like 1 or a younger mob versus an older mob that's like a dominant, or even there's a few alphas out here. So yeah, if you're a new player, this is actually one of the areas I recommend. It's got pretty good coverage of everything, so you're gonna get a good feel for the game, I feel like, out here. So let's go ahead and pull up this claim. What do we have over here? Is this gonna attack me? So Bursicle, you've got to remember too, these guys are very high aggro, or not high aggro, but they have a bit of an aggro to them. So the closer you get to them, the more likely they are to attack you. So just keep that in mind, right? Snabblesnots usually are pretty passive, but this one is not. So we can just kill that with one hit. These guys are extremely easy mobs. Back in the day, this was the only thing, like new players, right? Nowadays, you guys have it pretty easy. As a new player back in the day, it used to just be Snabblesnots. That was like the thing that you take on for time after time after time. You'd grind those up, then you'd go on to bigger and bigger mobs, right? But those used to be like the core. Those and I think it's like Sabakama, or however you say it, right? Those were like the two sort of tentpole mobs as far as that goes. It was good times, but it's definitely gotten better for those guys coming in wishing it was the good old days. You know, you might want to rethink that. And of course, if you go back and you know, like in A101 is going to be worth TT plus 100, you could buy a ton of them for TT back in the day. That was a little bit before my time, but still not so far that I couldn't get A101 pretty cheap. But yeah, if you go back there with prior knowledge of what's going to happen, you could do good. But if you don't have that prior knowledge, it really wasn't the good old days, like a lot of people are saying, or claiming, I guess. Alright, we're going to have to go ahead and do some emergency healing here, just in case. So you can see, again, if I was going to probably do this again, or when I come out here again, I might upgrade my armor to be something like Goblin, Shogun, something that has a little bit more of a oomph to it, because you can see these guys are still hitting me for about 10 damage, which it can wear on you, right? Like, you've got to heal after killing something. But it's a lot better than coming out here with armor that's going to let them do no damage at all to you, because if the mobs are doing no damage at all to you, you're just eating basically all your... You're eating the all the damage, and you're not letting any of that self-heal take place, right? Because your avatar is going to naturally heal up. So you want to have a little bit of damage to it, but this is a little bit too much. There's a balancing act to it, right? And it depends on how much you're wanting to spend on armor and everything like that. But yeah. Ooh, we got a mission update. I didn't even realize this was a mission. So I protected the teleporters. I didn't even realize I was protecting them, and I managed to protect them. That's it's always a good day, right? Ooh, what happened there? Alright, we just got attacked. That was a pretty big hit that he got on me too. Let's heal up real quick. Alright, we did find one claim. Again, it's a guardian too. That's the problem with this place. You do really start to notice those red dots, because if you're not paying attention, like, it could be one of these Snabblesnots. It's really not going to do too much to you, but every now and then it's one of these Bursicles, and they manage to get a nice hit on you. That crit hit really took me out. That was a little dangerous there, but it is what it is. And one of the reasons too I wanted to do this is just to show you guys I'll show you guys what's up, right? Show you guys how you can come out here and gear up like this. Some of you guys are going to say I should use better armor, and that's true, but if you're a new player, you probably only have Pixie adjusted, or maybe even maybe even no armor whatsoever, and that's going to be, this area might be a little bit impossible until you get more DPS. Also, one thing that's sort of nice to see, it looks like we're tiering everything up way faster as far as those L weapons go. Unfortunately, this weapon's actually from before tiering existed, and you can tell that because I literally just unlocked tier 1, and the TT of this is down about 60 PEDs. So this weapon is so old, it existed before tiers. Same with this one right here. This is a pre-tiering weapon, and right here I burned through the full TT value of this, and I've got no tiers whatsoever because they were all pre-tiering, which is something that probably a lot of people are surprised by. It's not something you see too often, weapons being used that are pre-tiering. But yeah, it's a thing. And there's a few of us out there that still have some real gems sitting in storage, I guess, is what you'd say. I do have some other cool weapons too, but it's like, most of those weapons now, they're so uneco that it's just not worth even bringing them out. That's why you guys don't see me with any of the crazy stuff that I've got from the old days. But it's every now and then it's cool. Also, this gun, it seems like, has 3,000 tiering potential, which is insane. If that was back in the day, you could probably get this thing to, well, if this was full TT, I should say, you could probably get this thing to tier 10 pretty fast, I'd say. But it's not. It's only got about 3% left, maybe a little bit more. So the way it used to work is everybody, when L weapons first came out, everybody thought that they were going to be, they thought it was going to be temporary. They didn't think it was going to last because it was such a big change to the game and people didn't like it. They thought that due to unpopularity, they'd make some way that you could recycle L weapons. And obviously that hasn't happened. But everybody just sat on them in storage. So for the longest time, I had a huge collection of limited weapons sitting in storage at 3% because I didn't want to TT them because there was still just a little bit of markup there. So, yeah, I finally get to go through that markup. And as you can see too, the markup, these weapons are so old. This one has not been sold on auction in over a year. This one is a little bit more recent because I believe these were unlimited blueprints that you could loot to build the gun. But in this case, this gun I think was looted, or at least if it was a blueprint, I don't think anyone has that blueprint anymore. But you can just see, like, look at this auction history. They stopped selling this gun in 2015. So I'm pulling out a gun that's over 5 years old and just playing with it, right? It's probably something like the Mind Arc servers probably think they're going crazy. There's probably some guy over there bug checking because he's like, how did this get into the game? I thought these guns were done. And nah, there's Serial Overdrive sitting there with some old weapons in storage. But it's cool to pull them out every now and then and just reminisce about what it used to be. I actually used to have a Riker UL1 Unlimited. So that had no, so it was a limited weapon. It was a version of a limited weapon that was unlimited. I think it cost 20,000 PEDs, which is a crazy amount. And I thought it was going to be worth it because you could actually make a little bit more hunting, right? So your returns would be a little bit higher. I really liked messing around with it, but then basically a time came when I couldn't play enough, and I decided just to sell it. The other thing too is I could sort of see the writing on the wall that these unlimited weapons, unless you're using them a ton, they really aren't worth it because they're not going to go up in value because newer and better weapons keep coming on the market. And what that means is that newer and better unlimited versions of those limited weapons are going to be coming on the market too. So all those limited or limited weapons, right, the unlimited version of limited weapons, they tend to just decrease in value over time. The only exception to that is when you get to some of that real high level stuff because the chances of looting something that's unlimited like that is very rare. And when you got weapons that are crafted, I don't believe Mind Arc is ever going to release I don't think they're ever going to release a blueprint to craft a unlimited version of a limited weapon. Or at least I don't think they've done that in a long time. I think back in the past they may have done it a few times, but for whatever reason they've just decided not to do that. It probably messes with the loot pool too much is my guess. Because my guess is what happens is with these limited weapons, they can sort of guarantee where, like, they know most of them are going to be burnt out and people just aren't going to use, like, they're going to disappear from the market at some point. Same with this Riker UL1. But when you release that unlimited version of it, it's going to remain in the market forever, which makes it very hard because now they've got some player who's put a lot into this weapon who's just they've got to balance it with, and that makes it makes it a very sort of precarious act for Mindark to play with. So it's probably more in their favor not to release too many unlimited versions of limited weapons, especially when you get to these lower level things, because they do tend to devalue quickly and then people get mad about it. And rightly so, right? Like if in my case, right, for that Riker UL1, I did take a loss on it, about 4,000 PEDs, I think. Something like that. It was actually significant. But the thing I'm saying, though, is when you take those losses and you look at stuff like that, it's just like, you know, you do that to enough players, a bunch of them are going to end up leaving, right? Like if I had the Riker UL1, I lost 4,000, went to the UL2, lost another 4. Eventually, I'm going to be sitting there and just be tired of it, and that's probably when you get players leaving, and that hurts the game. But yeah, I think this is going to be it. So you guys can see this is just a good example too of just how far you can go with this. Like I started off with 50 PDs of ammo, and right now I'm sitting here with 34 PDs, and I've been playing for about 15 minutes. So like if you're actually playing this game, right, and you're a lower level player, the PEDs are going to last way longer. And that's one of the things that a lot of people, they watch some of my videos and they'll see me do a 50 PD hunting run, and it takes 10 minutes, and they're just like, that's too fast. Well, here's your other option, right? You go out with a gun like this, you come to a location like this, and you can go for quite some time on just 50 PEDs, because that's not even counting the fact that I can just convert this shrapnel, and I can just keep running through this. And a lot of the ammo I've been using for mining too, and mining is where you take a big chunk. So if I was just a pure hunter, 50 PEDs of ammo could be lasting me a whole hour. I know a lot of you guys are probably going to want to see the returns on this. So right now we're sitting at 33 PEDs that we've spent. I don't think there's gonna be a little bit of amplifier decay, but I'm not really gonna count that because it's probably gonna be like 2 PEDs or something like that. And let's get the total. So do I have my TT? Oh, I do not. Okay, so we're gonna have to teleport back, I think. And I really don't want to do that, because honestly I'm probably going to log in later and just do a little bit of this off camera, sort of skill up these things and get my tiers. But for those of you guys wondering too, I only showed you Bursicle. If you go into the water, this is where you're going to find the Ripper Snappers, and sort of around here is where you're going to find those Argonauts. They're going to be a little bit of a higher level, so the Rippers are pretty low level, but they're high aggro. So if you're going to go for the Ripper Snappers, make sure you're prepared for that aggro. Bursicle, again, right here, you guys saw that level. Like this, the same sort of damage per second is going to work for the Rippers. And for the Argonauts, you probably want to increase a little bit and be working with the higher DPS to take them on. But, you know, it's trial and error, right? There's nothing wrong with coming out, trying a mob, and realizing it's just a little bit too hard for you. As far as returns go, what is this? We got 5. We got about 8 PDs here, and 16, let's say about 17 PEDs in return. So if you look here, right, like we spent 33 PEDs, so we probably broke even on this hunt. We probably lost a little bit in decay, especially because this amplifier will have decayed a bit. It's hard to tell exactly how much it was because I didn't start off with a full TT amplifier, but honestly on this whole run we probably lost 1 to 2 to 3 PEDs. So this is a pretty easy way to play the game and play it for a long period of time. So those guys who are looking for just easy ways to skill up in decent amounts, this might be a way to check out. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comments, or anything like that, as always, feel free to leave them down below. Otherwise, until next time, peace.